Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me episode. That's a really good question. What episode is it? 104?
Yeah, I think.
That sounds right. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside my Spanish meatball dressed up. This is how you know full well me and Joe do not communicate at all.
Nope.
At all. At
Yeah.
all. Joe is dressed up today. My Spanish meatball, Joseph, how you doing, sir?
You know, I'm a little ticked off, to be honest.
Let's talk about this miscommunication. So today I went and got my haircut for the show, and today you have dressed up.
It's Halloween.
Oh, I understand what it is. I totally get it. I totally understand and I'm going to be dressed up later for the Halloween stream I'm doing.
Sure.
But we didn't communicate that we were going to dress up for the show today.
I mean, I said, like right before we ended last week's show, I was like, Fix, you ready for a Halloween show? You gonna dress up? You're like, yeah, sure, Joe. And look at what we are having now.
If I remember right last week, actually, I cut off early by mistake.
It's true.
So I think you're talking BS.
I mean, what I say may or may not be factual, but that's not the point. It's Halloween. You're supposed to dress up for Halloween. I'm a slutty mouse. And trust me, I got even more get-ups here if you think that's my last get-up for the show.
Oh,
You're so mistaken.
So yeah, if you don't know, we are recording this on the 31st of the 10th, 2017. My Xbox and Me. What is My Xbox and Me? My Xbox and Me is all things Xbox, news, reviews, and all things we like about Xbox. We talk about Xbox. We love Xbox. We just love it. If you want the show early, you can head over to patreon.com/mcfixer. There is tons of goodies and treats and trick or treats over there that you could go and get and support and keep the lights on for the show and actually literally keep the lights on. I just put electric on, actually. I didn't put the electric key in. We could literally run out of electric halfway through the show.
You have to put a key for your electric?
That's a whole different conversation.
Wow,
if you want the video version, you can head over to patreon.com/mcfixer and support at the $4 level. And if you want your name read on the show, you can do that. Okay, so it's free right now for everybody. And people are probably thinking, why is it free? So for some unknown reason, Joe, I got locked out of my Patreon. So what happened was I got Haley's old phone because she got a new phone. So now I've got an iPhone 6. She's got an iPhone 7, I believe. Whatever. And so I went to use my two-code verification on it. And it won't let me get into my Patreon. So I can't do Patreon thank yous, unfortunately. I cannot do them. Hence why everyone's getting it for free, because you only get the show for free. Get the show early if it's $3 or more, which I know some people are not, etc., etc., etc. Let's get into what is and forever will be. I don't know why I said that. What's in your box? What have you been playing this week, Joe?
You mean what's in my mouse hole? Because that's way down, actually.
Nope. Definitely
you can't say that. That's the wrong show.
Definitely don't mean that.
My mouse trap. What's on my mouse trap?
What's on your mouse trap?
Okay. I've been playing a little game called Wolfenstein.
Oh, Wolfenstein.
Yeah, man. Wolfenstein 2 is insane. This game is everything that I thought this game would be. After playing the first game and not beating it, I need to make that clear. I was kind of hesitant because I was like, I didn't beat the first game, but I'm sure that they will give me some type of like heads up of like, hey, you didn't beat the first game. Here's what happened.
That's exactly where I'm at. I've got the first game and never finished it, and I want the second game, but I'm like, maybe I won't because I've not finished the first one. So, are you saying that I can still play it?
Yeah, no, definitely. So there's a really good sequence in the beginning of the second game that really tells you everything. I think it literally says like previously on Wolfenstein, and it's like shows you scene for scene what happened.
Oh, okay.
This game, yeah, does a real good at picking up where it starts, picking off where it left off. And let me tell you something: the first 2 hours of this game, I've only played like a good 2-3 hours of it so far, is insanely brutal.
Yeah.
You're discovering why BJ hates the Nazis as much as he does. You're realizing that it comes from not just a place of they're Nazis, but a place of a personal pain. Like his dad was
Is that a spoiler?
Kind of maybe. No, not really.
No spoilers. Keep
okay,
it
fine.
no spoilers.
But I do have to say one thing though.
Okay.
Because I know, like, I'm a person of where if a dog dies in a movie, I need to tell people. Because I love animals. Right?
Okay.
And
are you about to spoil something really big?
No. But a dog does die.
Oh, okay.
May or may not be from your hands, and you may or may not be okay with that.
Okay, so you're just letting people know that a dog does die.
Yes.
Gotcha.
In a very brutal way, and that's when that is the point of no return in this game, where it's like, okay, you better be okay with this. If you're okay with this, let's go on this ride together. And if you're not, it's cool if you want to end it right here.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so yeah, you have to make that decision, and from there on, the story is phenomenal. Everybody's acted insanely well. BJ, I love the voice actor. I don't know why, but he's going through so many struggles at once, and you really do feel it from him as he's going through the levels. He's giving you exposition as to what is going on in his head, and he's kind of like self-narrating what's going on. The actors as well, like his wife, your partners, the main villain, all of them phenomenal. Like, this is something like it's like a movie you're watching. It's how good the acting is. And yeah, I love it. The action is hard. This game is hard. Holy shit. There's an achievement for not dying in the game at all. I died in the first engagement.
Oh, really? Wow.
It's tough. Even if you're on medium, it's hard.
Okay,
easy,
so plan easy for me.
Yeah.
I'll plan easy. I don't like hard games. Like, the hard games do nothing for me, so I will 100 play on easy if I do play this.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So you're liking what you played so far. How far in are you?
Yeah, again, I'm like 2-3 hours, but
Okay.
it's something I'm taking my time on, but I'm liking it so far. Really am.
Fair enough. Where are we? Last week I finished Evil Within 2, spoke about that. This week I've been playing a little bit more South Park. I'm about 9.5 hours in now. Played about an hour and a half yesterday with Haley on stream, which was really cool. I still like the game. I still think it's a good game. I think I'm learning that, unfortunately, due to the fact that this one comes second, it isn't as good as the first one. But I actually like this world better, which meaning I actually like the superheroes better than I did the fantasy. But because the first South Park game was just so good that it was super hard to live up to this one, I probably like the actual mechanics of the game when you're fighting a lot more in this game than I did the last game. But overall, like I said last week, I've already experienced the world now, so I don't have that same feel. But still enjoying it, still think the jokes are super funny, still find the childish nature of the game and the some of the things they just say, how they get away with that. So still enjoying it. Apart from that, I started Assassin's Creed Origins.
Talk to me here about this fix. I'm really interested. I'm thinking about picking it up.
So I'm about an hour and a half in.
Yeah.
And I like what I've played so far.
Okay.
This isn't a traditional Assassin's Creed game. It isn't. Okay. Obviously, the combat's totally different. You fight with oh my goodness gracious me. How do I even podcast? How is it I have a podcast and I talk for multiple hours and I can't speak? The shoulder buttons.
Science.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, and I like that. It's very new to me so far, so I'm still struggling with locking onto characters. I'm finding it quite hard to lock on and move from one character to another character at this current moment in time. But again, hour and a half in, they're still pretty fresh for a game of this size. I'm sure I will get used to it. Right. I don't know much about the character yet. I know you're sort of just thrown in. It's not a backstory, and this is who this person is, and this is why he's got this vendetta against this or this. No, it's nothing like that. It's more, this is this person's story, and you're along for it at this moment in time. It's at the start of the game, it shows something that happens, and then it takes you back a year. So I think we're going to get to a point in this game, and I reckon it's probably going to be quite a ways in, where we obviously get back to that point. But so far, you're getting a weird backstory. It's a weird one. It's a weird one.
Do you start in modern day, or you're starting in ancient
No, you
times?
start in Egypt. You start in Egypt. Yeah.
Oh shit! Really? Is there? Have you seen the Animus yet, or anything?
No,
like
I've
that?
not got to any of that yet. Not even seen a thing. You got to remember, the last Assassin's Creed game that I played and enjoyed was Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh, did you play Black Flag?
I didn't play Black Flag. I actually do own it, but never played it. It was an interesting one. I'm liking the game. Don't get me wrong. Really enjoying the game. I play games in a certain way, and I've noticed the older I've got, it's how I play games now. Is if there's question marks out there, I go and find those first. If there's viewpoints, I go and get those first. If there's side missions, I go and do those first before I do my main quests. So I did that in this game, and they felt really good. They felt fun. They felt enjoyable. Obviously, it's not.
Maybe?
No, nothing. Not yet. Not at all. Nothing repetitive about the game so far.
Okay.
You play the game the way you want to play the game. I think I was streaming it, and the Twitch chat was shocked that I played it stealthy, because everyone knows I hate stealth games.
Right.
But Assassin's Creed games, I feel like they do stealth quite well on this.
Yeah, it's weird to me because like I don't do stealth either, but I find myself in games like Assassin's Creed or like Shadow of War that I always take the stealth route first, and I'm actually pretty good at it, at least in those games. But if I go to something like Metal Gear Solid 5, I shoot one guard and everybody's freaking out.
Exactly. I'm exactly the same way. Literally. I like what I've played so far. I think that's very early impressions. There's nothing I can critique just yet. I'm way too early in. If I had to suggest if someone picks it up or not, I would say if you've not played an Assassin's Creed in a long time, I think this could possibly be the one you jump in and play.
Okay.
It's not the traditional rubbish, in my opinion. I didn't enjoy what's it called? I didn't enjoy Unity. I didn't enjoy the 3. I didn't enjoy the 360 one. I remember watching my uncle play that and just be like, this does not look good. You know, when they did the Black Flag and the one on 360 at the same time. Yeah. Can't remember what that one was called now.
I actually thought that was pretty good or something.
Rogue.
Yeah, I heard that was okay, actually. I don't know.
From what I watched, I didn't play the game myself. Okay. I was already moved on to an Xbox One by that point, and I was like, I'm done. Buy a 360. I'm out of here. But yeah, I like what I've played so far.
Okay. Let's see. Worth the 60 so far? Because right now, what I'm doing right now, here in the States, we have a place called Target.
Yeah,
it's where all the hip moms go, and they have a buy two get one free sale going on, and that includes Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. COD mod World War II. And so I'm thinking about getting the COD, getting Assassin's Creed, and then whatever game comes to interest. I don't know which one I would fancy more. At the same exact time, right now, I talked to someone because my warranty for my Xbox One it's not up, so I can go back and I can get something better. Because my sound still doesn't work.
Yeah. And
I go, dude, I got this as a gift. This is $450 right here. And I know that the warranty holds the value of that $450. This is a special edition, system. I'm not gonna go and get, settle for what is right now here at the States like a $300 machine. I want the most that I want what I got for it.
Yeah.
And so what I'm trying to do right now, he's talking to his manager about it, is seeing if they can't up me to the Scorpio. They're like, I just pay the extra money and get the Scorpio. And if that's the case, I'm definitely gonna get Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty, and we'll get a look at all that 4K goodness. That's for sure.
4K goodness. Yeah.
And maybe we get an unboxing for the channel.
That'd be lovely. That'd be lovely. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else have we played? Played more Cuphead. Played Cuphead with Haley. There's a Let's Play on my channel, youtube.com/MCFixer. That's just gone up. Oh my god, playing that in co-op with somebody is so frustrating, and I get super angry, and it's super funny. You should definitely go check out that video if you haven't already. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I think that's it, if I'm not mistaken. Sounds right. Sounds right. And today I'll be streaming Friday the 13th. So I
because
bought
it's Halloween, right?
I officially bought the game. Yeah, I will go out. Here it is. After shitting on the developers, I have officially went out and bought, like I said I would, the physical copy of Friday the 13th. I needed a game to stream. I wanted to play this game when the game launched. The game was broken. I shat on it. But I have now bought it just to let everyone know. £30 from game. I will be playing it, and then I will be trading it back in just to let everybody know.
Why? Why are you trading it back in? I'm actually like, I really actually want that game. No bad.
Like I was really annoyed because Xbox have put games on sale, haven't they? Or I'm sure the developers have the publishers have put games on sale, and they haven't put this on sale. But they put Dead by Daylight. They put Dead by Daylight on sale though. So Dead by Daylight's like only £15. I'm like, oh, I really wanted Friday the 13th.
But here's the thing: it's all about market.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because right now they're probably seeing the sales and they're like, this game's selling well. We don't need to put it on sale. And
where Dead by Daylight's probably the opposite.
Exactly, where maybe it's not doing as great, but who knows? Because they have Freddy Krueger now, so maybe that's gonna help sell that game. Maybe.
Joe.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Let's get into one thing, which is our boy Mike Lynch, who has sponsored this episode. And Mike Lynch says, "Hey guys, my name's Mike Lynch. I've got a YouTube channel, so go and check it out. It's youtube.com/Mike Lynch. I do movie reviews and go over life shebangs and stuff. Mike Lynch hasn't hit me up with a new ad read in a while, so I'm sort of making these up on the fly at this point. He seems to enjoy them. I spoke to him the other day. Shout out to you, Mike. He's happy. I'm happy. You're happy. Let's keep this show rolling. Topic of the show, Joe. Topic of the show. Should Xbox have shown us something at Paris Games Week? Important to note now that PlayStation had their showing yesterday. Really interesting showing, if you ask me.
I covered the show over at the PlayStation podcast. You guys should check out with Mr. Sean Capri.
Yo, we did a live stream, reaction stream. Me, Crash, Gary, who else is in there? Mr. Moody, I believe, and Echo Division. We all did a live stream reaction thing, and I enjoyed it. We're not here to talk about PlayStation though, which is important.
It was horrible and it was trash, and The Last of Us is stupid. Continue.
So I've literally just put a video out about this topic, which you should check out on this channel. If you're not subscribed to this channel, youtube.com/myxboxandme. Go subscribe and check out the new video I just put out, all about should Xbox show games early. That's not what I want to talk about. Maybe we'll slide into there as well. But what I want to talk about is Xbox gave up a whole day to Sony. A day for them to control their messaging, a day for them to have all this good publicity. Was that a good idea, Joe?
So there's an interesting tweet I saw between Andrea Renee of What's Good Games and Ryan McCaffrey of Unlock, and she said, like, why is Sony doing this? Like, there's nothing really to gain here. What's why? And Ryan offered
in terms of what? Sorry, Joe, just didn't mean to cut you up there, but in terms of what you mean.
The one complaint of this conference was out of Sony is why show all these games out of E3 again? Like, we thought we were going to get, release dates for Gears of War, Spider-Man, Detroit, like
Gears
something.
You mean God of War?
Those games get a release date for, and we got more of the same. It was like the B side of E3. So she's like, why have this conference? You're not even going to really announce games release dates that are coming out in the spring, the first half of the year, you say, and we want to see those release dates. So Ryan goes, well, maybe they did it and put our tinfoil hats on, or your Mickey Mouse ears for the fact of maybe they did it because Mario Odyssey just came out a few days ago.
Yep.
And we have the Xbox with the Xbox One X launch in a few days. Maybe they need something in the middle to kind of go, hey, remember why we're fucking awesome and why we're the top dog and why our games are amazing? Here's why.
So you think it was reactionary to Nintendo obviously killing it over there with the Switch, and obviously Xbox having their new system coming out this week? You think that's why they were like, look, we're going to show all the games that they showed. I need to go through them. If you've watched it, you've watched it. I personally, and like I said, the video's up, but I'll go through it a little bit more here as well.
Go for it.
I personally enjoyed the show because what they did was they showed PlayStation fans a reason to be excited to own a PlayStation console. Something, and I go on this on the video as well, something I don't think Xbox has done in a very long time. I will say the Xbox One X, I'm now a believer. I now think it's a great console and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be the best place to play all third-party content and Xbox exclusives, console exclusives. But what do we have beyond that, Joe? All we have is State of Decay 2.
Yeah.
Crackdown 3.
Yep.
And Sea of Thieves.
And let's be honest, nobody's excited about Crackdown.
So literally what I say is nobody cares about Crackdown. If you come in the community we live in, well, I definitely live in. I know you've got the PlayStation podcast, but I live in this community. I live in Xbox. Nobody emails us about Crackdown. Nobody talks to me about Crackdown. No one says a thing about Crackdown. And it got delayed. So it wasn't launching with this no piece of hardware, which at least some people would have said, all right, cool. I don't really care about Crackdown, but I want to see how pretty this console is, and that game's going to help. No, not even that. That game's not good looking. I'm sure that's why it got delayed, honestly. So that's that, Crackdown. Sea of Thieves. Everyone's still a bit iffy on it. You've got people that are in the preview program that can't talk about it. I'm in there, I can't talk about it. But I did play it at...
they actually threatened his life. They say...
I signed something. So, but what I can talk about is the fact that I played it at EGX, not at Studio, but at EGX, and I can say that the game's good. I'm enjoying it, but it's not. I said this in the video, which is it's not Last of Us 2, Part 2. It's not Horizon Zero Dawn. It's not. I'm sorry, but it's not those top tier amazing experiences. Xbox haven't had that, and I love Gears of War 4. Think it's a phenomenal game, but it's not to the same level as the games we're talking about here. It's not. So what I would have done as an Xbox, there's two ways of going about this. Yeah, there's my business hat on and the fan hat of me, and this is where it's really hard. So when you do podcasts and do videos and stuff like that, the fan in me says I don't want what Sony's doing right now, of them showing me Last of Us Part 2. I tweeted that Last of Us Part 2 was amazing, but I didn't need it. And that's honestly how I felt about this whole show. I was already convinced on Detroit Become Human. I was already convinced on Last of Us. Again, I didn't need it. And I don't like the fact they're showing games with no release dates.
Right.
But that being said, I would have loved for Xbox to have done the same thing here, which is show us something new. Which I know PlayStation wasn't selling anything new, but Xbox need to show me a reason to keep me in this goddamn ecosystem, other than just the fact of enhancement games, backwards compatibility.
We got a box that can do things,
a box that can do things. I've got a box sitting in front of me right now that can do things. So you want me to spend more money on a thing so it looks better? That's amazing, don't get me wrong. But why am I buying this? Why am I buying this?
I think when it comes down to the PlayStation conference, I said it. I said here. I said on the PlayStation conference. This went to show, like if you owned a PlayStation yesterday, yesterday, and you saw the conference, you're not trading in your PlayStation. Right?
No way.
You're hyped. You're on board. Like seeing Sucker Punch, people that made Infamous go and do a
Sunset
Samurai
Overdrive.
game, like holy shit, that is something like that's something crazy.
My bad, that was insane. I said Sunset Overdrive. That was insane.
No. You know, like to me, seeing Last of Us, I get why people are like, okay, hold off.
Yeah.
To me, after that trailer, I'm like, okay, now we can hold off. Now you don't show me anymore. But to me, that trailer, I didn't even know it was The Last of Us because it didn't have Joel, it didn't have Ellie, and so I'm just like watching these creepy fucking people. I thought I was rooting for Bloodborne the entire time.
Yep.
But unfortunately, not the case. But like seeing that trailer was fucking nuts. It was fucking nuts. And then all of a sudden, when you see the hammer and then you see the tickers come, you're like, what the fuck?
No one cares. This is like Xbox.
I'm just saying, like that gave me like the holy crap. Like I'm excited for this. Like Xbox has not given me like, give me something with the Chief. Give me something like. Give me something in code. Go out and do something different. Because like right now, what I see is like Crackdown, and I don't care. But the thing that gets me the most excited is Sea of Thieves, because to me, that game is Microsoft finally doing something different. I need you to do something different. Like this most powerful console to me, as much as I want one because I'm a big gamer. That's what I am. That's what I'm about. Like. What is next for this console if there is no games for it? Like you could give me all the 4K visuals you want, but if I don't have that Last of Us moment, there's no reason to buy this console. Yeah. Like if I don't like, you know, the way the shape of right now, the Xbox publishing arm is, like I'm very skeptical and I don't want to be, you know.
That's why
I love Xbox and I love like they have a catalog of games that they could fall back on that could be really awesome. You got a MechAssault game. Give us a MechAssault. Give us Fable again. Like give us things. You know, don't rely on the same Gears, Halo, Forza format. That's what I'm getting tired of this year seeing, you know?
Yeah. Like I say, I just say this generation of the Xbox One versus the PS4, and I know it's not versus, but for the conversation, on a first party front, Sony unfortunately have killed it. And that's why I say to anybody out there, you have to own all the consoles. You do, because you're robbing yourself of amazing experiences on the opposite console. But would you not have loved for Xbox to have come out at Paris Games Week and been like, that's nice, that's what they've got, but this is what we got? And they could have re-shown, don't get me wrong, more of State of Decay 2, more of Sea of Thieves, more of Crackdown,
right? And
then maybe 3 other games to be like, and
then just give us a logo for Halo.
Just like anything. I really felt let down because they let Sony have the whole day. That they let Sony have this whole chatter. Like literally, there is no news this week. I'm pulling news out of my butt cheeks for the show this week due to the fact that Sony owned it, and we have to talk about PlayStation right now on this podcast because Sony owned it. And then we have to come up with a topic to talk about. When do you hear us talk about PlayStation this much on my Xbox?
I don't like it. I don't like it, Fitz.
That's my point, though. That's my point. Is why would they do this? The one thing they have said, and we're recording the show before 11:30 PT, I believe. The big news is coming out, which is there's going to be news about PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. And unfortunately, we couldn't wait to record the show. I had to get it done and get it out for you guys. But if they release the announced date for PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, is that enough to win it? Like that one game, because all the talk is Sony didn't talk about release date, Sony didn't talk about release date, Sony didn't talk about release dates. Xbox come with one game and talk about a release date. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
and that would kick ass.
I think Xbox should have been there, and I think the more we talk about it, I think the more it makes sense. Of you just let your competition that's killing
winning
you right now
exactly
have a day right before the launch of your console, and they did the ultimate sales push. Of guess what? If you buy a console right now in November, the next 6 months of the next year, you have these games.
The next 3 years, because you got to look at it. If Last of Us might not come out till 2019, then they've said God of War, Spider-Man, and what else? There's something else that would be coming out before in 2018, early 2018. Detroit, yeah, that's it. They've just literally, the sales pitch was, we got games. What do you want to go buy their console because they got hardware, because they've got something powerful? We have something not as powerful, but still upscales, still does a good enough job to 4K, and we have games. They have both, and that shit sucks.
Mm-hmm. It does. Really does. To me, I really think that all you needed, I think, was you could show off the same games. You could have like a reel of like show off Crackdown, show us like Sea of Thieves, show us more Sea of Thieves, for the love of God. I want to see more of it. Show us a little bit more State of Decay. And then you just go, oh yeah, PUBG. That you heard that indie game. It's pretty hardcore. Bam, December 1st, let's just say. And you're like, whoa. That's exciting. That's exciting me as an Xbox gamer and that truck outside. Like, I'm really excited for PUBG. Give me a reason to be excited about Xbox, and then throw me out there a Halo shtick. Like, throw me just a logo or like a tease. Like, what's that?
A teaser. There's got to be something.
Give us something, just a little something. Instead, I think Microsoft dropped the ball on an opportunity by Sony to give their sales pitch for this holiday season.
Yeah, that's literally how I look at it. And not forgetting, Sony also have PSX after this. A month later, they have PSX where they're going to get to talk to their dedicated audience again, and probably give us release dates, probably give us new and something else, maybe Ni no Kuni, Digimon, all these other Japanese games that we don't get over here. So they're still going to be talking about more exclusives that we're not seeing, and that sucks.
It sucks. It really does. And there was a rumor last week that Ni no Kuni was going to get announced for the Xbox One,
and then got debunked.
Came out to kill my dreams.
I know.
Loved it. But
let's get into the news, Joe. And the first piece of news is all about everybody's favorite Xbox exclusive that nobody bought, Sunset Overdrive 2. More info has come out, and Insomniac CEO Ted Price has once again explained that his company is open to making a sequel to Sunset Overdrive, but would need a partner for that. Speaking to Insomniac Twitch stream, Price was asked whether or not the studio owned the IP could make a return. And the quote is, Sunset is something that I know a lot of our fans talk about wanting to see a sequel. End quote. He responded with, and I quote, we need a partner for that. That's a big game. Sunset 2 would be a very large scope game, end quote. And continued to explain that because the company owns the IP, a new publisher could mean a sequel would appear across platforms, moving away from the first game's Xbox One exclusivity. Price has previously said, and I quote, asked Microsoft why there isn't a sequel to the Bizarro open world game. Going by his latest comments, Microsoft turned down the opportunity to get another game. Price also said that due to the game being in Games with Gold, now the game has been played by millions of people. So, big news here. Big news. Because Ted Price coming out saying the studio wants to do it. You've changed costume again.
Yes, I did.
It's Ted Price coming out and saying, we want to do this. All we need is a publisher to get behind us and do this. The problem I think they're going to have is they're saying now that they want it to be a large-scale game. And the game was already a large-scale game, don't get me wrong, and it had Microsoft money behind it. Yeah. I don't know. We were talking about maybe a THQ Nordic or a Deep Silver, or even who does Borderlands shit. Gearbox. A Gearbox. Like those type of companies, are they big enough now? Because there's nobody else out there. I think Gearbox would be. Take Gearbox out of that. But the THQ Nordic, I don't think so. maybe I don't know. I don't know who
They
could pick
just
this up
released.
now.
I know THQ. They're working on their one AAA game, and then they got some indies that are coming out for the console.
Exactly.
But yeah, no. This is a big letdown for me because I love Sunset Overdrive, and I feel like as a game that it was so good and it doing so bad, I don't blame Microsoft for not going and trying it again.
No, unfortunately, that's the case though. That is literally it, isn't it? It's the fact of nobody's angry at them for not. I'm not angry at them for not picking it up the second game. The game sold atrociously. Like, what could you expect them to do? This is what happens when you don't support exclusive games. We don't get sequels to those exclusive games.
And it also goes to show, as much as Insomniac is its own developer, you know, I remember looking at this game and going, whoa, Insomniac and Xbox.
Yeah, me too.
Insomniac and Sony for so long. And it just kind of goes to show that, yeah, that name means something, but it means something to another audience more than it does here. So when you're talking about like, oh, that Insomniac push, if Sunset Overdrive, I have no doubt in my mind, wanted to go to PlayStation, right? I think that game would have done a hell of a lot better because Sony fans know what's up when it comes to Insomniac and what they're all about and what their games are. When you're going to another audience, you're like, I've heard things about these guys. I see their games and they're weird, you know? And so it doesn't carry as much weight, I think, going and crossing platforms.
I totally agree.
With that said, now that you have some type of foothold on the Xbox market, and after you do have a dedicated fan base, as small as they may be, these guys make games and their games come out. Xbox, Phil, please take this game back.
Crazy,
please, because I think if this goes like Sony picks it up, that's the biggest fault.
I don't think that happened. I don't think so.
I mean, like, I think if someone like 2K, someone like Activision, EA, whoever picks this game up, if it does get picked up, it's a big detriment to Microsoft, because now, sure, it comes out on their system, but it's also on their competitors.
Especially,
nuts?
Yeah, go on.
If Sony paid for the marketing of that game.
Oh, what? Imagine. And because Xbox are not buying marketing deals at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, especially, imagine this. So, Sony pick it up, it sells better, and it's the same thing of Dead Rising 3, Dead Rising 4. I mean, Dead Rising 4 times exclusive.
Yeah.
We thought it was an exclusive. It wasn't. Like, everything we have as Xbox gamers keeps getting taken away from us. We couldn't even keep Max the Curse of Brotherhood as an exclusive. It's now on PlayStation. Like, what?
It's hard.
Don't know. I just don't get it.
It's hard.
These
are the times that define us as fans of Xbox. It's the hard times. But you know what? In a few days, how many days are left? Like in 3 days, we're gonna get the Xbox One X. Hopefully, this turns that ship.
Let's hope. Next piece of news: Kinect is dead. Microsoft has confirmed that it will no longer manufacture the Xbox Kinect accessory, with Alex Kipman, creator of Kinect, and Matthew Larson, GM of Xbox Device and Marketing, confirming the news in an interview with Code.design. Microsoft will continue to support customers who bought Kinect, but is unclear whether developer tools will remain supported. Joe, did you ever have a Kinect?
I did.
You did? On the Xbox One?
And the 360, yes.
Oh, you're in the 360 one like me. We're OG, boy.
Man.
Us and 10 million other people bought one of those.
Let me tell you something about that console. I'm going to be real with you. I traded in my Red Dead for that fucking thing. Like an idiot.
Why would you do that?
Because I'm an idiot, Fix. You got a co-host as a dum-dum. I don't know what to tell you.
That's true.
But it's true. Fuck you, man.
No, for me, it's a case of I remember when I bought my 360 Connect.
Yeah.
I bought a second-hand one from a shop called Game Station, and I wanted it because I wanted a UFC fitness trainer.
Oh boy.
And I remember actually enjoying it, but I remember it not being amazing. I remember I had to use it downstairs in my front room because you needed tons of space to use the original Connect. And it not working out, but I saw promise there. I then remember them showing, what was it? Damn it. Splinter Cell. What one was it? What one? There was a Splinter Cell game. I can't remember which one it was called. And you could use your Connect to talk, to get people. Conviction. Was it Conviction? It might have been Conviction.
Yeah.
I remember that. And I remember being like, that's so cool. That you can talk to the Connect and it will get, hey, you. And then the guy comes walking around and you just walk around the other way or stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. I loved all that gimmicky shit. Like, honestly. And when they announced the Xbox One X and it being bundled with the Connect, I was like, okay, I've got no problem with that. I owned a 360 Connect, enjoyed Xbox on, Xbox off, Xbox pulls, etc., etc., etc. Enjoyed all that. But them adding the extra $100 price tag was like, oh. And then we had the news that you have to have it connected all the time. Oh. And then they rolled back a few of those things and the price still was $100. The Connect killed the Xbox One. That's why Xbox have such a foothold on Xbox, is because of the Connect.
Yeah, I was gonna make a video about this, man, but
do it.
No, I will. Yeah, no, I have strong feelings about the Connect, and maybe it's because I'm just a sexy little squid, but I got some real problems with it. The Xbox One killed. Yeah, I mean, the Connect killed the Xbox One. I believe that wholeheartedly. Like, yeah, there were mistakes made with the Xbox One's launch. Let's not mistake this. But one of them, and one of the biggest ones, was pricing. Why am I paying $500 when the more powerful console, technically more powerful console, please don't kill me here.
No, that you're 100% right.
Yeah, it's you know what? It's fact. And so if you want to be delusional, the more powerful console is the PlayStation at the time, and it's $100 cheaper. And so it's like, why? For this camera? And then you got those stories of, is it underpowered because of the camera? And all these little things about this piece of shit camera that was, it's cool for the VR code. You put it up to your TV so you don't have to type in the fucking Matrix code to get a $25 gift card. It's cool for that. It's cool for the voice commands. It's cool when I walk into a room, the Xbox turns on. That's pretty rad. But at the same exact time, I think it was the biggest mistake because of two things. A, they should have never bundled it because they needed that console to be as cheap as possible. Possibly lose money on this console to get them out there. I think they should have launched the Connect at a later date and not at the launch of the console.
Yeah.
And maybe at a cheaper price as well, because the one big thing in the beginning of the consoles were the cameras, right? Like the PlayStation camera was actually selling like hotcakes. You could not find that for months.
Yep.
And so like because people were doing Twitch and the 3 people that were streaming on Ustream, like, you know, these things were like a powerful tool.
Yep.
So like what helped Sony was they already had the technology for this camera. It's not the best camera in the world, but it'll do.
It's like, it was enough.
Yeah, it was enough. It was enough for voice commands. It's enough to track lights. And that's what they needed. And bam, $60. Now it's like $40. It's ridiculously how low that camera goes. To see the Connect go like, oh, we're like actually like $150 on our own, or like $200, I think, around there. That's insane. That's insanity. And then the games that come out for it, they're shit. Like, they're honestly garbage. And so like the only game I remember the like when I immediately like regretted this console or this peripheral was when I was playing Kinect Star Wars. I was like, I love Star Wars. I love it to death. Like, we got replica sabers here, and I'm proud of them. And that game was garbage, and it was a disgrace. Seeing that game, I was just like, wow, this camera's fucking trash. And then when I saw the Xbox One with this camera, I'm like, yeah, no, it dragged this console down. That's why when he saw it finally, like, you know, sell consoles without the Kinect, and then with the Xbox One X or S not even having the port, God, it's just like, yeah, no, it's dead. Thank the good Lord, because this thing really did have a real good hand at killing the Xbox. So
it's mad. Crazy story. Crazy story. I'm going to skip a few pieces here and let's talk about Final Fantasy 15. Episode Ignis will be released December 13th. The release date was revealed in a new trailer that was shown during Sony's press conference at Paris Games Week. For a glimpse at the Ignis trailer, go watch it. Episode Ignis will feature a new storyline that chronicles Ignis's fight on the streets of Atlantis.
Sure.
No, I don't know how to say it. Where Noctis was unconscious after the trial of Leventa. Do you know what? As a dyslexic, it's really damn hard when they just can't call things normal names.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something real. Like with this Final Fantasy news,
Final Fantasy is amazing. Don't even try to shit.
I have to say this. My sister-in-law's sister, she gave birth to a baby. Her name's Lucretia.
What?
I'm like, that's a Final Fantasy character name. Is it?
You're right.
She's
I'm with you there.
The Roman thing, and I'm like, no, that's definitely something I heard in a Final Fantasy. You know, I don't like these fucking ludicrous names.
Players will have Ignis's spell daggers, which can be employed with elements, properties at their disposal as well. The important piece of news coming out of this, Joe, is that it is really important, which is that Final Fantasy, this is the last piece of DLC for the characters. And the Ignis DLC will have multiple endings.
Oh boy!
As someone who enjoyed Final Fantasy 15 a lot, first Final Fantasy I ever finished, and have enjoyed each piece of DLC so far. They're not amazing, but they're good pieces of DLC worth playing to carry on the stories of where these characters were during. It's actually a really interesting way of doing it, which is they tell stories about each of the side characters when they wasn't part of your story with Noctis, which I think is actually a really cool way of doing DLC, because it doesn't feel like you robbed me of anything because they were gone. So I don't think you held this back. This wouldn't have made sense in the game because we're playing as Noctis. Was actually kind of a cool side story. I actually think this was a good piece of DLC.
Yeah, I like what they did story wise with giving each one their own separate thing when they leave. I think that's really that's pretty cool. Also, the trial, I just got here. It's Trial of Leviathan.
Leviathan. That's how you say it. You're right. But yeah, the important thing I want to talk about here is the multiple endings for the Ignis DLC. I don't want to spoil it because something big happens to Ignis, but I don't quite
turn into a sexy squid mid podcast.
No, he doesn't. But I don't quite get the multiple endings of this. Final Fantasy is telling me a story which I want to see, but I don't want multiple endings in that, and especially not in a piece of DLC.
Right.
But that's just me. Next piece of news is more news about Visceral's Star Wars game. The game wasn't cancelled due to it being single player, says EA Access. The decision to close Visceral Games and refocus the Star Wars project wasn't made because it was a single player title, according to EA's vice president. Quote, truly, this isn't about the death of single player games. I love single player games, by the way, or story characters driven games. Quote, stories have always been part of who we are, and single player games will, of course, continue. Joe, what do you make of this from Patrick, the vice president of EA?
Yeah, I'll say his name for you. Don't worry about it. Patrick Sutherland.
Sutherland.
Yeah, it's Sutherland, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like Sutherland from like Keith Sutherland.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just put Sutherland. Anyway,
whatever.
So yeah, this is I love when corporate people are like, yeah, single player games are some of my quite favorite games. I love it. It's like, yeah, I believe you, dude. Sure thing.
Yeah,
what I thought of this was sorry, was Kotaku did an article talking about how this game, the whole PR statement was bullshit. They weren't going in an online direction. the game was in a mess. And then there's another article talking about how Dead Space 2, to make that game, it costed $62 million. That's back in what, like 2009, no, actually 2010-ish, right? No, 11, because I worked at GameStop then. And so like I see that PR thing, and I'm like, yeah, it kind of does smell like bullcrap. And this quote is kind of now bringing the heat off of EA, going, no, we still believe in single player games.
So
trust me,
I actually believe them.
I believe them too. I
believe that but I believe that the game was in bad shape.
Yeah,
and that's why it got cancelled. And unfortunately, us being gamers and us loving to jump on podcasts and talk shit about companies, EA are a company. EA have to make the right decision for their company. And if something's not coming together just because it's Star Wars doesn't mean it can't get cancelled. Just because it's Amy Hennig doesn't mean it can't get cancelled. Right. Just because it's something we want doesn't mean it shouldn't be cancelled. If it's costing too much money and not going to recoup those costs, they have to do something. They're a company.
Yeah. That's like my one big thing. Like I made a video over at Bad Bit explaining, like, I want to be mad at EA, but they're a business. They're about making money. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Like, this is not about, like, art and business have to compromise. And when they compromise, truly great things happen.
Yep.
But when it's either one or the other, you see horrible, stupid things. Like when it's all about the art, you see the game get delayed, promises, and they don't get to deliver, right? And then when it's all about business, you just see greed, and the game is a shell of what it should have been. And when they compromise, you actually have a good video game.
I agree. I agree.
With this news, the game was a mess. And I would love to see a Star Wars Uncharted game. One day I will see it. It's not the end.
One day, 100%.
Yeah, so like the way I see it was this studio costed the money, and now they had to close them. They had to sow the seeds, and it's unfortunate, but that's what it is. And I don't think single player is dead. I think I still think so. It's changing, and I think the way we view games is changing.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, let's get through these last two pieces because I've got to run off. South Park: The Fractured Butthole will have a free trial available on consoles now, which worries me a little bit. PS4 and Xbox One owners can play a whole hour of Ubisoft's RPG sequel South Park: The Fractured Butthole for free via the launch today on both consoles. Playing the trial will give you a fully 60-minute run through of the game, of the version, which was received positive, blah, 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 blah. Joe, Ubisoft have been doing this, so maybe I shouldn't be worried. They've done this with Ghost Recon. They've done this with a ton of their games, For Honor, I believe, stuff like that. But a game like South Park, do you think it's a good idea giving away a whole hour, the first hour of the game, to people for free?
To me, I actually think it's a mistake because the first hour of the game, to me, is the slowest part of the game.
Maybe that's why they did it. They know it's the slowest part of the game, but it is humorous enough to get a new audience, to get people in who may not want to give it a try.
Yeah, maybe. It'd be really cool if you did this demo and it carried over, so you don't have to do that again.
It does. No, it does. Your progress does carry over.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I like this. I don't see anything bad with it. They're just trying to say, hey, listen, this game exists in an already, swamped holiday season. That's how I see it.
I hope it sold well. I do, because I would love to see another South Park game. Not to say we'll definitely get it, but I'd love to see another one. But yeah, I hope this isn't like, please come and buy this game. We worked really hard on it, and it is just all right, there's a lot coming out. How do we get new people in?
Yep.
Next piece of news, and it's the last one. Guacamelee 2 is a real thing. It was shown at Paris Games Week, and I assume will eventually come to Xbox. Didn't say anything about it being exclusive at Paris Games Week.
Yeah, this is cool. I never played the first one, but what I saw from the second one is like there's like these interdimensional waves that like in between these waves, there's like enemies you could fight. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's the new one. That's in 2, not in. That wasn't in the first one. I think I played about 3 hours in the first one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, but like what I saw for the second one was really cool, really interesting. I'm on board. Like, I'm really on board. I liked what I saw here. So
cool. Games with Gold for November. You got Trackmania Turbo from November 1st to November 30th. Tales of the Borderlands, November 16th to December 15th. Nights into Dreams from November 1st to November 15th. And Deadfall Adventures from November 16th to November 30th. Joe.
Yes.
This is usually where we're going to fix this sack, where you can send an email to my Xbox.
Fix your cheat bag.
Yeah. My Xbox and me podcast at gmail.com. Please email in. We have got 0 emails this week, Joe. So the show ends here, unfortunately.
So there's no Snickers? I don't get a Snickers or a Kit Kat?
No sweets for you. So let's plug and get ourselves out of it, Joe. What you got for me?
I got a little thing called Bad Big Games. Right now I talk about how GameStop's newest attempt at staying relevant is actually a terrible idea. A lot of people, I got a lot of shit for that video. Surprisingly enough, people say I hate GameStop. And that's not true. I stand them. Like, it's not that bad. Anyway, nonetheless, PlayStation podcast. Check that out. We covered the Sony conference, and we had a great time. It was me, Sean Capri, and it was just overall a fantastic conference.
Cool. You can catch me on Twitter at MCFixer. Most importantly, please subscribe to this channel you're on right now, which is youtube.com/myxboxandme. I've just put out a new video on the channel all about should Xbox release show games earlier, like Sony did with Last of Us 2. You can go check that out. Give me your thoughts on that. You can find me on Patreon, which keeps this show on, patreon.com/MCFixer. The goal is to pay Gary for his hard work and reviews one day. We'll see if we get there.
We'll see.
Also, what else is there? We've got youtube.com/MCFixer. Just put up a Cuphead Let's Play with me and my fiance Haley playing the game and us getting real angry at each other. So if you're interested in that type of content, go and check it out. Joe, thank you very much, sir. And until next time.
Guys, please, I'm sorry, before we end, please watch this video, this podcast. I didn't put my mom's eyeliner on and search for ears for nothing. So
apparently you did, dude. Apparently you did. Love you, leave you, and I'll see you all later. Bye.